And now this is Luke chapter 2, verses 16 to 20. And it says, "So they," that's the shepherds, "they came in a hurry and found their way to Mary and Joseph and the baby as he lay in the manger. And when they had seen this, they made known the statement which had been told them about this child. And all who heard it wondered at the things which were told them by the shepherds. But Mary treasured all these things and pondered them in her heart. And the shepherds went back, glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen, just as had been told them." Isn't it? It's a wonderful thing to think how Mary and Joseph had come to Bethlehem and they were living in makeshift accommodation. And suddenly, out of the blue, comes this probably raggle-taggle group of herdsmen. And they say, "We've seen an angel. And there's a baby here, and it's in a manger, just like the vision that we saw." And we saw thousands of angels. And they come and tell this story to Mary and to Joseph. And Mary would have remembered her encounter with Gabriel 9 months earlier. And she would have recalled her encounter with Elizabeth and the prophecy that Elizabeth had, and how she was filled with the Holy Spirit, and she said those wonderful words of praise to God. And yet here we are, 6 months later. 6 months later, after that, and yet there's another visitation of God just assuring Joseph and Mary, "You're on the right lines. This is a significant and special and wonderful thing that God is doing." And the shepherds, they tell Mary and Joseph everything. And they go around spreading the news. They've got good news. And they're going to tell, because it's good news for all the people. And the shepherds went back, glorifying God and praising God for all they had heard and seen, just as it had been told them. You wonder what happened to these shepherds. Perhaps they were there 30 years later. Perhaps they told their children about it, and their children would have known of someone somewhere who would be about 30 years old when Jesus comes on the scene, and when John the Baptist starts to preach, they'd have been ready to find out that these words of their fathers or grandfathers were actually true. That the Messiah was coming, and it was good news for all the people.